Hi, Dan Rocker here, Vice President of the International Paruresis Association and co-director with Steve Seufer of the Shy Bladder Center. Today, I want to discuss with you the distinction between primary and secondary paruresis. It's an important distinction that we spend a considerable amount of time on in workshops and in individual treatment. And if you want more information on anything that I'm discussing today, it can be found in the books that are over my right shoulder there, Free to Pee and The Secret Social Phobia, both of which are available for free in the member-only section of the IPA website. But to begin, in a nutshell, primary paruresis is a description of the symptom itself. It is what a fly on the wall would see. It is what a video camera would capture when we are having a hard time with our paruresis. Namely, it's the limitations that we experience in attempting to urinate, having difficulty initiating a stream in the absence of privacy, or under time pressure, or when we think other people can hear us, and the avoidance behaviors that we engage in, whether that be fluid restriction before an event, or zipping up, washing off, and leaving a bathroom without having urinated, avoidance behaviors of that type. Primary paruresis, in other words, is this stuff we do, the stuff we operationalize and enact when we are at our paruretic moments. Now, secondary paruresis is different. It's something that is unique to the individual, and it is what a fly on the wall would not capture, what a video camera would not see. It is our own personal interpretation of the meaning of having primary paruresis, what primary paruresis means to us. Now, for many of us, these are feelings of shame, of lack of self-worth, lack of manliness if you're a man or identify as a man, feelings of sadness, feelings of isolation, embarrassment, negative self-talk. There are many manifestations of secondary paruresis, and if you attend a workshop, you'll get to hear from other people exactly how their paruresis makes them feel. Now, most people who do come to workshops or come into treatment with me have at least some secondary paruresis as well as the primary paruresis, because frankly, people who have no secondary paruresis seldom come to treatment at all because they're not particularly troubled by their paruresis. They accept that they have a quirk or a foible, that they require more time or more privacy than is customarily available when they're peeing, and they simply know and accept this about themselves. A classic anecdote that I always trot out at workshops is the following, and I hope this really makes it clear to you the difference between primary and secondary paruresis. Back when I was in college, my best friend, who's still my best friend, is a guitarist, and he used to enjoy practicing the guitar in the bathroom. It was an all-male floor, and we had an all-male bathroom, public bathroom, that he would practice his guitar in because he liked the acoustics of the tile. Now, I would frequently be in the bathroom talking with my best friend, but I would never be able to use the bathroom while he was in there playing the guitar. If I actually had to go to the bathroom, I would leave that bathroom and go to another bathroom. But on one day, a hallmate of ours, a mutual good friend of ours, showed up in the bathroom and saw my friend playing the guitar and saw me standing there. And he said, "Hey, friend, hey, Dan, would you guys do me a favor and step out into the hall for just a minute? I've got a shy bladder, and there's no way I'm going to be able to pee with you guys just standing here." And so my friend, who's playing the guitar, just shrugs and he walks out in the hall. And I walk out into the hall, and as I'm doing so, if you can think of the old cartoons, you could almost envision gears grinding to a halt in my brain and smoke coming out of my ears. And the thought that was going through my mind is, shy bladder? I've never heard that term before. I'm sure that must be what I have. How come my friend can say that about himself, but I can't? And the reason is very simple. because on that day, in that bathroom, there were 3 people. There was someone who had neither primary nor secondary paruresis, and that's my guitar playing friend. Then there was someone who only had primary paruresis, and that's the friend who had come in and asked us to leave. In other words, he definitely had paruresis in spades. He simply couldn't pee with us standing there, but he had no trouble telling us about it and asking for the minimal accommodation of us just walking out in the hall. And then there was me, and I had primary paruresis insofar as I knew that I would not be able to pee in front of one or either of these people. But I also felt so ashamed about it that I lacked the vocabulary to even discuss it with a friend who had just disclosed it to me. And to this day, more than 30 years later, I haven't discussed it with him. That's just because I haven't kept up with him, not because I'm still ashamed. But that's the difference in a nutshell between primary and secondary paruresis. One of the people who I quote, the Stoics are having a bit of a comeback recently. There's a Stoic philosopher named Epictetus. And one of his famous quotes is, "It is not events that disturb people. It is their judgment concerning them." So if you think that your paruresis makes you less of a man, if you identify as a man, or less of a person, I should say, that's the destructive judgment that you are passing on yourself. It is not intrinsic to paruresis. That is secondary paruresis. Primary paruresis is uncomfortable and inconvenient enough as it is. It does not have to be compounded or made worse by your feeling bad about feeling bad. So changing the way that you think about your paruresis, and when we change the way we're thinking about it, we're working on the secondary, you can learn to suffer a little less, even if the paruresis symptom itself doesn't change that much right away, just by changing the way you think about your paruresis. So when we're doing graduated exposure exercises, actually putting ourselves in public restrooms and attempting to urinate, we're working on the primary paruresis. When we're mentally reappraising what the paruresis means about us or to us, then we're changing our relationship to paruresis and working on the secondary paruresis. So that's the distinction between primary and secondary paruresis. And I hope to see you all at some point at a workshop, and we can get into all of this in more detail. Take care, be well, bye-bye.